Hello everyone, this is your favorite Murted live once again, and today I have a very short video for everyone. Marriage and the age of marriage in Islam. If we look at Quran chapter number 65 verse number 4, Surah Talaq, it says, and those who no longer expect menstruation among your women, if you doubt, then their period is 3 months. And those who have not menstruated yet, and for those who are pregnant, and their term is until they give birth. And whoever fears Allah, He will make for him for this matter ease. Now, once again, I'm going to read the first part because that's what we are going to talk about. It says, if you doubt, then their period is 3 months. And for those who have not yet menstruated. So, what does that mean and how the scholars interpret it? We have to go to certain tafsir. Let's look at, to begin with, the Asbabul Nazul. Why this verse was even sent down. Asbabul Nazul means the reasoning of the verse to come down to this earth. So I'm going to read the underlined part, which says, Ubay ibn Ka'b said, O Messenger of Allah, some women are asking, there are other women who are not been mentioned yet. Some women were saying to Ibn Ka'b, hey, some other women are not mentioned by Allah. He asked him, who? He asked Muhammad. If you see the yellow highlight, it says, and who are they? He said, those who are too young. So this verse was specifically there for the children who are too young and have not menstruated yet. And in the brackets, you can see such that they have not started menstruating yet. Idda is a specific term which is when you have divorced a woman, which is talaq, divorced a woman, the woman has to wait for 3 months before she can remarry to somebody else. So this verse is saying that if the girls or the children are too young, that they haven't even menstruated yet, they will still have to wait for 3 months before they can remarry to somebody else. Let's look at Jalalain, how he translates it. And Jalalain says, and I'm reading the yellow highlighted part, and also for those who have not yet menstruated because of their young age. Same thing. And it also says Quran chapter number 2 verse number 234, which describes about other women over there. But Allah forgot to mention about the children who are getting married and being divorced. So Allah revealed this verse in chapter number 65 verse number 4. We can also look at Ibn Abbas, who is the cousin of Muhammad. What does he says? I'm reading the yellow highlighted part. What about the waiting period of those who do not have menstruation because they are too young? Let's go to Ibn Kathir as well. And Ibn Kathir says, once again, he narrates through Ubay bin Ka'b, and he says that, O Messenger of Allah, some women were not mentioned in Quran. And in the red box, you can see the young, and then it says comma, the old and the pregnant. And that is why this verse was revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or rather than saying, hey, do not marry those women, rather children who are too young. Instead, Allah just gave that the prescribed idda, the waiting period to remarry, is still 3 months. Now, there is a small problem. Some people actually says that you can marry a child, but you cannot have an intercourse with them. Let's look at another verse of Quran. And it says, chapter number 33, verse number 49, it says, O you who have believed, when you marry believing women and then divorce them before you have touched them, means had sexual intercourse with them, then there is not for you any waiting period to count. Same word, idda. So once, if you haven't had sex with them or intercourse with them, you do not need to wait for 3 months. They can be remarried whenever. So combining these two verses together, chapter number 65, verse number 4, the waiting period or the idda is 3 months for young, even for the young who has not yet menstruated. And the other one, we get to the point that you can marry a child. Now let's look at it how Muhammad Ijab explained these two verses in Speaker's Corner, talking to his own fellow Muslims. Muhammad Ijab, please explain.
If you look just at the Quran, you will get the indication that you can have sexual intercourse with a 5-year-old. If you just read the Quran, it is halal, it would be halal to have sexual intercourse with a 5-year-old. And the ones who had never been pubescent before.
I think everyone heard that. But once again, Muhammad Hijab gives a longer explanation as well. That where do you see that? So Muhammad Hijab tell us how you come into conclusion that why you cannot have sexual intercourse with young children.
In the Sunnah, there's a hadith. The reason why we don't have sexual intercourse with 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds or whatever is not because of puberty. Wait a minute, what did you say? It's not because of puberty, because that verse in the Quran actually says lam yahid. They never had puberty before. You can't go around that. The reason why we don't have sexual intercourse with those people is because of harm. The hadith says la darar wa la dirar. And I've said before, the reason why is because of the Sunnah, not because of the Quran. Such a verse, la dirar, means you can't inflict harm to anyone else.
He did not give us which hadith. And you know why he did not give us which hadith? Because that hadith is not even talking about marriage. It has nothing to do with marriage. It's just saying do not inflict zarar or pain to others. Now, that in itself has nothing to do with marriage. And you know why? Because if the women are hearing this, they already know why. Now, coming back to the same point, does a hadith describes the marriage to the young girls? Let's look at another scholar, an Arabic scholar, what is he saying in a live satellite television channel during an interview.
يعني كلام صحيح البخاري.
نعم.
كلام الفتح، كلام الحافظ في الفتح، كل ده بيقول انه الاتفاق على انه الكلام هنا على الصغيرة التي لم تبلغ الحيض بعد، يجوز تزويجها وإن لم يحدث وفاق تطليقها، والشرع قال هذا فعدتها كذا. مين اللي قال الكلام ده زي ما بقول لحضرتك كده؟ ولا لم يحدث؟
الصغيرة، يعني الصغيرة اللي هي لم تبلغ الحيض يجوز.
نعم. الكلام طبعا الكلام ليس كلامي، انما الكلام على ايه؟
يعني تبقى مثلا كم سنة؟ يعني 10 سنين، 9 سنين، 8 سنين.
لم يتحدد سن. حقيقة لم يتحدد سن بالزواج. لا الشريعة الإسلامية كلها، هات لي حد يقول لي يتحدد سن بيوم، بسنة، ب10، ب15، ب20.
ده انت على كده بقى، انت ممكن وهي لسه طفلة بقى شهر او شهرين بقى
ان شاء الله حتى يوم.
Okay, so he says you can actually look at Bukhari, Fath al-Bari, any hadiths, none of them describes it. They all agrees to the fact that the age can be anything, and in the end, as you have seen, he says even one day. Now Muhammad Hijab, I'm going to ask you, why don't you make a video where you show the full ahadith on screen which you are mentioning to denounce Quran?